Welcome back.
Woo!
Episode 9.
9. That's one less than 10.
Episode no.
9.
Yes.
Okay, we'll give it to you.
One of our most notorious and violent songs.
I saw someone die while we played this song.
That's right.
It'll be me tonight from heat stroke.
Or for lying because you're going to get struck by lightning.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen. Knuckle up, I'll knock you down. I'll put you on the fucking ground. I'll make you bloody with my fists, and we'll find out who the real chump is. Vision fades and it goes black. My fist in your face make the perfect match. I'll take on you and your whole bunch. You'll never see it coming. Sucker punch. Let's start a fight. Let's start a fight. Gonna kick your ass tonight. Let's start a fight. Let's start a fight. Gonna call you out and make things right. If this is really what you wanna do, just know that I don't wanna fight with you. But keep your head up, that's the key. Just be prepared, hell's coming with me. Let's start a fight, let's start a fight. Gonna kick your ass tonight. Let's start a fight, let's start a fight. Gonna call you out and make things right. Start a fight, let's start a fight. Gonna kick your ass tonight. Let's start a fight, let's start a fight. Gonna call you out and make things right. Let's start a fight, gonna start a fight. Gonna kick your ass tonight. Let's start a fight. Gonna call you out and make things right, yeah. Oh man, I was like super flimmy on that song.
God.
Flemmy like Lemmy.
Oh! I'll give it to you. You've earned it.
On the funeral video for Lemmy, Dave Grohl does a speech, and then someone puts his guitar down and like thwacks his bass and just lets it go ring. Yeah. And I was shocked at the amount of pussies in the comments that are like, I can't believe they disrespect his bass like that. I'm like, this is Lemmy from fucking Motorhead. I think he wants his guitar to feedback on stage at his funeral, dick faces.
What a bunch
I think they know better than you do.
Hey, now I know what I want happening at my funeral.
What?
I want Lemmy's guitar thwacked at my funeral.
You want Lemmy's
not
Flemmy.
this piece of shit, but
We'll
Lemmy's
thwack
guitar.
something at your funeral.
And that's how Brandon got kicked out of church again.
Oh.
So, speaking of great musicians like Lemmy, I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
What's a famous band or artist that everybody loves that you've never even heard one song from?
Motorhead.
Everybody has one.
I'll go. I just figured this out.
Go ahead.
We're going to go with The Arctic Monkeys.
The Arctic Monkeys.
The Arctic Monkeys.
Heard the name before. Can't say I've ever actually heard one of their songs.
That's a twofer.
We can pick just any new artist, and we're not going to know who it is.
Yeah, probably.
Any artist my buddy Pete listens to, I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The Arcade Fire.
I've never heard their music either.
My band that everybody loves that I've never heard one song from is fucking Radiohead.
I don't know if I've heard a Radiohead song or not.
I've never heard a Radiohead. Maybe that Creep song, but I don't think I've ever even heard it all the way through.
Yeah.
Plus, there's like 10 other songs from the early 90s named Creep, so there's a Stone Temple Pilots Creep.
I always thought it was Stone Temple Pilots. There's a Radiohead.
No,
Creep.
the Radiohead version of Creep is way bigger than the STP version, but I never heard that one. So.
I feel like there's a long list of bands where I'm like, I've never heard that band.
Radiohead is
like, you know that song.
Radiohead is one of those bands I've had tons of people try to be like, no, you don't understand. They're incredible. Like, have tried to preach the good word of Radiohead to me, you know. and I just don't get it.
I've never
Kind
tried.
of just seemed like a soft, weird band with weird experimental tones and shit, which is okay,
Yeah.
but
Eh,
I don't know.
The
I'm not even
college
saying
kids like 'em.
Not even saying they're bad. They're probably good. I just have
they
never
might be.
listened to them.
Yeah. Who knows? Depeche Mode.
You've never heard a Depeche Mode song.
I've never heard a Depeche Mode
There's
song.
a couple of good Perfect Circle covers of Depeche Mode songs.
My
They
wedding
do
song
People
was
Are
a
People.
Depeche Mode song.
Them, and then there's that Ariana Grande. Never listened to any of her music either.
Yeah.
But
Well, like we
everyone's
said,
always
anybody new, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh, yeah. No, there's a ton. And
Yeah.
actually, Justin Bieber, I mean, he's been around for a while. Oh, God. Yeah.
Getting
No, it
nervous,
is so
getting
hot
nervous.
in here.
Yeah.
Like, we're one song in, and I already feel like I'm going to pass out.
Donate some money to our stream, guys, so we can buy a AC unit.
I will
Yeah.
I will give you my sweat as a reward.
Tonight on 3-Man between the sets, Brandon has heat stroke.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen.
Are we ready for song number 2?
Yeah.
We ready for a little Down and Out, which we're lying because the song says it's your last song, but it is in fact not your last song. So
Two
don't
songs
just go
set.
away right when we're done. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's got to be something wrong. I've never felt so good. All that time I spent depressed, down and out and obsessed. It's weight that I left behind, and your memories drowning fast. So listen closely to my words, 'cause this song is your last. I'm always right and you are wrong. So enjoy this, 'cause it's your last song. And it took some time to see that when you're not with me, I am strong, I don't back down, and I have a blast when you're not around. I'm not sorry for what I did, I don't regret the things I do. I regret that we ever met, and I feel sorry for you. I'm always right and you are wrong. So enjoy this, 'cause it's your last song. I'm always right and you are wrong. So enjoy this, 'cause it's your last song. I'm always right and you are wrong. So enjoy this, 'cause it's your last song. I'm always right and you are wrong. So enjoy this, 'cause it's your last song.
Not, in fact, your last song. That's a song that we wrote. I've been meaning to tell the story of Down and Out because it's
Let's
kind of
hear
a
it.
fun story. Me and LB, this is back when we were first writing songs. We had written the original 5 songs that we put on this demo album. Our friends really liked it. and we were writing newer songs, and we kind of started writing some shitty, sappy girl music, and we kind of just like painted ourselves into a corner. And I get the feeling like neither of us were really happy. We're both just like, these songs kind of suck. So I was like, hey, let's write one more song that's like the last girl song that Three Men ever did. So that's what the song's about. So enjoy this because it's your last song. And that since that point, there are no three-man songs just like about shitty girl issues. We just don't do that. That's off the table from this point on just because there's enough love songs. Who needs fucking another love song? What's a weird pet peeve that you guys have?
Mine would be, okay, so I have this really weird thing, and I'm not sure where it comes from, but ripping paper towels with teeth.
With teeth?
With teeth.
Specifically?
Like if someone rips a paper towel with their teeth or like any kind of like tissue paper thing, it bugs the fuck out of me. And like,
really?
I think it comes from like when you're a kid and, you pull the tooth out, like, my dad always used toilet paper, and I think just like, it was traumatic when I was a kid because my body's falling apart. My dad's tearing my mouth out.
I always remember, like, once you get kind of old, like when your last few teeth fall out, you're such a pro at that point that you don't even give a shit. You're just like, oh, this one kind of feels loose. Just yank your fucking teeth out of your head.
So my 10-year-old, a couple months ago, comes home and he's like, well, he comes down the stairs. He goes, I lost a tooth. Oh, did it fall out in the shower? Were you wiggling it? Well, no, I punched myself in the face.
That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not for a team.
Let's not do that. No, it's really like I just punched myself in the face a couple times and then it came out. Like, okay, psycho, go to bed.
Do you have a thing that bothers you that shouldn't?
Do. So we recently redid our kitchen. And there's a lot of cabinets, like a lot of cabinets. You guys have been to my house. Yeah. And for as many cabinets as there are, my wife and children just love to leave them open because I don't know why we put doors on them because we never fucking use them. Like every day I come home, it's like, how many cabinets do I get to close today?
All of them.
Drives me nuts. That and the one other thing that bothers me that I find bothers more and more people is chewing. Oh, man.
Just any chewing?
Chewing in general. Like, people, like, if I can hear it, it drives me nuts. And then my kid, he's only 10. He chews with his mouth open a lot of the time. And it's all I can do not to flip out. Holy cow. We were at the Avengers movie, and he was like, he can't eat a piece of popcorn. And I swear to God, he probably learned it from me. He takes a mouth, like a handful, and, like, sticks it up against his mouth, and then just proceeds to, like, chew and push at the same time until it's all gone.
Like a cartoon.
And in the middle of the movie, I'm like, we're about to lose popcorn privileges. Just so you know. And then he's like, oh, okay.
Awesome. Because he must punch himself in the mouth too much. That's why
he did, I think. Like, that's how we eat now.
He just has to inhale it like a boa constrictor because he doesn't have teeth.
Yeah.
My thing that I have two different things. My first small gripe is glitter. Glitter really fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, like herpes of the art world.
And we have a family Easter tradition. My sister-in-law, they make glitter eggs, and not like the fun like confetti eggs. They actually fill them with like legit glitter, and then they just like chase people around all day long trying to like ruin their day.
Wow.
And it's terrible. But
There's
that's not my actual
place in hell for people like
that. That's
sure.
not my actual gripe. My real thing that really bothers me that shouldn't is the Star Wars special editions. Those really piss me off for some reason. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
It shouldn't bother me though because the original versions still exist. I can still go watch my Laserdisc rip and not have any problem with Greedo shooting first or whatever.
Good.
But that shit, that's
nice
not
miserable
even
enough.
Well, and the additions got worse and worse as the movies progressed. Like there was less and less necessary things added in Empire, and then even less things added in Jedi. Like Jedi was fine the way it was. You didn't need to change any of that.
They didn't need to change. Oh my God, I hated it after the prequels came out too, and then they added all that other like.
They added like
pod racers
Hayden Christensen in as Darth Vader. That was the worst.
That was so stupid. They changed the Ewok song.
Like, that was terrible.
Oh my God.
That was like immediate. Like I remember walking out of the theater when we saw the special editions Return of the Jedi, and people were like, "Where was the Yub Yub song? What the fuck, man?"
Yeah.
Like People were mad immediately. It didn't take time. The prequels took time for people to marinate on and start to hate. It took a little bit of time. Like, people were mad at the special editions immediately.
I hated that they changed Boba Fett's voice.
Yeah, to the clone.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
So stupid.
Who says he would have talked like that guy? He went off as a rogue bounty hunter for years. Who said he wouldn't have like a crazy just? He's worth nothing to me dead. He had like a pirate voice before.
All of it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I can't really think of anything
it.
that they added anything of value to the movie.
No.
Like, even the stuff they did add was just, why did they change that?
I don't. Okay, the Sarlacc pit too.
Oh,
like,
Jesus!
Oh my God!
The beak
why?
on the Sarlacc pit.
Why would you ruin it?
Yeah, that was awful.
Like, that thing terrified me, and then it had this beak and made that squawking sound.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
They also added 2 unnecessary screams on Empire after Vader cuts off Luke's hand and he falls down that big pit. They added in like this awful scream, and then they did the same thing on I'm thinking a different part. Never mind, I lost it. That's the one I'm thinking of though, is on Empire. And all it was the exact same scream that the Emperor did when he was falling down his big pit. They just grabbed the exact same bit of audio and threw it in as Luke's scream in
Isn't
Empire.
that, what are they, the Wilhelm scream?
No, it was a different.
that's-
The Wilhelm scream's different.
Yeah.
That's like the like it's like a weird
Yeah. It's super good, but yeah.
Well, the Wilhelm scream too is to the point where like they put it in on purpose, like as a joke. Like every movie, especially if it has like Steven Spielberg or George Lucas or Ron Howard, like they have to put in Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, it was in all of them except for The Last Jedi.
Yep. Even in like Rogue One, was there a Wilhelm scream in Rogue One? I've caught the Wilhelm screams in like all the Toy Story movies too. There's at least one in all the Toy Stories. Lord of the Rings, there's Wilhelm screams.
Yep.
It has to be intentional, right? Because it's such a goofy, like, I mean, it must be just like a big movie maker's joke or something. Like, it's such a corny scream. They're like, you have to put that in every single time. That's
what I need.
That's a whole other category, like a show everybody loves that you've never seen. Black Mirror.
Oh,
never
I love
seen any
it.
Black Mirror.
Except the first episode of the first season. Don't
I thought
start
you were going to
there.
say Charlie Brown.
Haven't seen much Charlie Brown, to be honest, but I've seen enough of them.
The one thing that I remember is the episode where they're racing through Ketchikan.
Yeah, on Creek Street, going up the wrong direction
What?
on the river.
Yeah.
That's right. Tony, you should get a shot of that real quick. The Charlie Brown, what is it? The summer camp episode,
I think
Race
so,
for Your Life or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going up the creek that Tony is showing you guys right now. Yeah, you've never seen that?
No.
Every like 5 years, somebody from Ketchikan posts
Yeah.
a little clip of it. Have you guys know about this? And everyone's like, "Oh, I knew about that all fucking years ago."
I
Go
just
fuck
like that it
yourself.
normalized
People from
I didn't know
Ketchikan
about it.
childhood
assholes.
depression.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until like later on, but yeah.
But
I
they're
just
totally
think it's
going
kinda
the
fun.
wrong way. They're like going
yeah.
upstream.
Super the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now I'm going to have to go watch Charlie Brown.
Yeah, which one? It's the one where they're at summer camp and they're
I
racing.
think
There's
it's
like a
for-
boat
yeah.
race.
Oh, see, I've only seen like the Christmas special and the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like peanuts. that
I've seen the
much.
mediocre pumpkin.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
It was all right.
That was my mediocre. But
Like fucking petted his hi-hat.
Let's do some Fall of
whatever it
Rome,
is.
All right.
friends.
here it comes. It's a song about Tide Pods.
I love Tide Pods.
Give me a click, sir.
Caught up in the spin cycle, just tossing you around. It's hard to find your purpose when you can't find up or down. You can go to school, you can join the military, simplify, or you can just eat laundry soap and try not to die. Laundry pod, gotta anchor it for mayhem. Laundry pod, life's lost all meaning. Laundry pod, do it all for a couple of likes. Laundry pod, make your dopamine level spike. 'Cause when your life ain't shit, do something about it. Get some biscuits, chemicals, treat them like edibles. Eyes roll, bad mouth, all full of foam. Something tells me this is just like the fall of Rome. treat them like animals. Eyes blurring, liver burst. It's a trip to the ER. Better take a selfie first. Eyes roll back, mouth all full of foam. Something tells me this is just like, got a feeling it just might be. Kinda thinking, yeah, this could be the fall of Rome.
I blame the heat.
That's what I was thinking I was going to blame it on.
This heat sucks, dude.
Good Lord.
This is the sweatiest I've been in like years.
So speaking of sweating profusely in the company of other men,
Woo!
what's your guys' worst sports injury? I picked this one because you never got to tell your ankle story because you told a different story.
You told an ankle story.
Yeah.
Oh, can't
And
make
mine's
too
not
many
my ankle
stories.
story.
I'll tell an ankle story. I'll start out. So
Okay.
we'll do sports injury. I was playing football. I was in college. It was not college football.
Okay.
It was like,
whoa.
hey, you're a big fat dude. Come play a pickup game with us. It's like, all right, sweet. So we had a long ways to go, and it was like me, and I went to an engineering school. So everybody was real tiny.
Oh, cool.
Like, just like they all like hung out on the third floor and programmed for fun.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, we're going to give him the ball, and he's going to run.
Whoa.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. He's going to jog hastily. So they hand me the ball. Boom. Get it from the quarterback. I take off running down the sideline, right? Got it. I'm running. And this kid, this tiny little dude, comes at me, and I turn to pivot because I think he's going to try and hit me. And I turn, and as I turn, he jumps up and puts both feet into like the side of my calf.
You like wrestling, like drop
Yes.
kicks you?
Yeah, I think he was trying to like slide tackle me, like kick my feet out
What
from
a
under me.
jerk. I thought he was going to submarine you.
No. And so all my weight was not only on my left leg, but I was like in mid like twist,
Oh, God, that sucks.
and I felt it pop twice. Snap, snap. And it broke the outside bone, dislocated the inside bone from the ankle. I had to go in, and they had to cut me open on both sides and
Jeez.
just reattach everything. I've got a plate that's in there with some screws. It's pretty unawesome. It like hurts when it gets cold and hot. And
That sucks.
then I had to go back in later, and they had to take out 2 screws that they had going through both bones while it's set. And I got them in a box somewhere. They're pretty cool. But
Titanium and shit.
yeah, it's super, because I asked them for them. I was like, I paid for them. I want them. They're like, okay, we'll clean
Those
we'll
are part
throw
of me.
We'll throw them in an autoclave and get them all cleaned up for you.
There you
It's
go.
like, sweet.
Little doggy bag.
So I still got them in a box somewhere because I was talking to jewelers in town about having them melted into like a pendant or a ring or something.
Ooh.
Nobody in town had a kiln that was hot enough to melt titanium.
Really?
So I threw them back in the
In your leg?
in the box. Yeah, I threw them back. I got the old Black and Decker out and went to town. Funny thing, during that surgery, I woke up. The drill woke me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw anything. My eyes were taped closed,
Oh, yeah.
but I could hear the drill. That was great. I got a wicked paper cut playing cards last weekend too.
My sports injury story, I already told my rollerblading ankle break story, so I won't tell that one again because it's too similar to yours. Like, we basically, mine wasn't as bad, but I also had the 2 screws going through the one side to connect the 2 bones together.
Yep.
I still have mine, actually. It doesn't bother me.
Whoa.
But my other worst sporting injury is I broke my wrist in Blue Storm in warm-up basketball camp. Before you go into your freshman year, or before the basketball season starts, everybody does Blue Storm, which is just like a preseason warm-up thing. I wasn't really into basketball. I was okay in 8th grade, but I was on track to like try out for KI and all that.
Yeah.
We're practicing in Blue Storm. And for some reason, a couple of my buddies start goading me on to try and dunk it, and I could never dunk it. I could always come real close, but even though I'm like 6'6", I just can't jump for shit. I'm a terrible dunker.
There was a movie about that.
And I was I think it's called Caucasians Can't Catch Air.
Yeah.
So I was going for a dunk, and I was actually coming really close this one particular time. I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. And I went up there for one more try, went up, totally bricked it on the rim. And my feet flew out from underneath me, and I fell straight down, like, feet straight out, and landed on my right arm.
Yeah.
So right arm first. Didn't notice anything at first. Stood up, someone tried to throw me the ball, and my hand was like, like it was literally like a U. Like it kind of went like whoop, like down like that. Like the middle of my wrist was like bent down like that because
That's so cool.
the side bone was down there. Yeah. And, so was in shock, didn't feel anything, was in the waiting room for like 4 hours, and then I started to notice that it hurt.
Yeah.
and they had to fly in some doctor to set my bone because it was on the weekend.
Oh,
And he was all in his like flannels, and he had like Carhartts. He was obviously like fly fishing or something.
Oh, okay.
And he showed up, and they jammed a fucking needle into the middle of my wrist to numb it up, like local anesthetic. And then he did this weird thing where he like put my wrist like underneath his leg to pop it into place. Yeah. And then like all my casts, it swelled right after they casted it, so I had to get it sliced in half. And every time I got a cast, I had that problem.
They did that with my ankle because it swelled so much they just cut it back off and had to wait another day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brandon, you've got some good sporting in. You played football, so
Yeah, I played football here, which is on gravel. So I've got all of my worst injuries are definitely from football. I mean, I had my arms shredded open. My tattoos are actually covering my scars from all that. They just got gashed open because I don't like it was gravel, but then they also had the like beach
Seashell
stuff. So it's basically glass. I mean, and my arm cut all like you can see kind of the scars still on my hand underneath my lion. That's where they start, but they go all the way up here. And my whole arm got shredded open, and they sewed it up with fishing line, and I went back out because we only had 11 people on our team, and that's what you need to play football. So went right back out. My worst one, though, was I was running the ball, and I got hit by 3 different dudes at the same time. So two guys forward, one at my knees, one at my neck, and then one guy at my back. And I snapped in half.
Nice.
I hyperextended both my legs. My feet came up to my stomach.
oh,
And so, my legs are still pretty goofy shaped, and they give out every once in a while still. But, right after that happened, I was in bed for, 3 weeks.
Wow.
I didn't move. I went from, 160 pounds to 315 pounds.
jeez.
I couldn't do anything. It just totally knocked me out. But, yeah.
His right
Lee
forearm
was
was huge.
dude, I was so depressed because, I was gonna do all state and all this other stuff. Football was what I wanted to do with my life,
Yeah.
and it super sucked. But yeah,
I couldn't imagine actually caring about sports.
I
played too.
I did wrestling. I did football, and I wasn't amazing, but I was pretty good. And captain, defensive captain. I mean, in high school it sucked because we never won a game. When we played in Canada, they don't call a game. We played, and it was
No
100.
mercy
It was
games?
180 something to 0.
Wow.
Literally every time we got the ball, they took it from us.
They just came up and grabbed
man,
it out
dude,
of your hands.
These guys were giants too, so we didn't know it when we were there before we got there. But this was their pre-pro teams.
Yeah.
These are the guys that are groomed from the time they're born to play football. And they're they got a foot on you, Tracy.
Yeah.
And 100 pounds on both of us put together. And they are solid.
They're just playing football while the hockey season's not going on.
The kickoff, oh my God, dude. You pick the guy you're going to hit.
Uh-huh.
And I saw my guy, and he didn't look that bad. And then about 10 feet from me, I realized that he was 7 foot something. I was like, holy shit. And right when I was saying shit, he hit me, and I went flying about 20 feet. Had the wind knocked out of me, couldn't catch my breath.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Jeez.
Those were the games where our coach was like, we're not just representing Alaska. We're representing America. I was like, oh, God, no. So then in their newspaper, it says America loses to Canada.
And that is secretly why we've never gone to war with them.
Oh, my God. And there's just this picture of all of us just super depressed. It's no. It was 110 degrees when we were there too, so we all got super bad heat stroke.
Oh my God.
Just passing out. Oh man, yeah. Football sucked. I mean, I loved it.
It's
but
almost
it
as
sucked.
hot there as it is in here right now.
Oh my God, dude! This is the surface.
Speaking
of
of
the sun.
heat stroke,
This is Dante's Inferno.
Should we finish up this last song so we can call it a night?
Let's fucking do it.
Modern Standards.
Guess I'm stricken with the
goddamn hot to rock tonight.
Too hot to rock.
Oh my god, my hands are so slippery and my band-aid's falling off. Hey,
Don't eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
Have a good night.
We'll
Come
see you
back
guys.
for episode 10.